Okay, so guys, the headline seems to be that profits are down, revenues are down. Can you put this in some context? How significant or unusual is this?
This is really, in addition to what Brian had said on video about the oil prices dropping a lot. That was one of the two big factors. The other is the tremendous strength of the dollar, which has appreciated 20% in just 2 years and actually almost 30% since 2011. So that's put U.S. companies at a big competitive disadvantage versus non-U.S. companies. In fact, the Asian companies in their local currency, their sales went up by 11%. European companies were actually flat, and U.S. companies were down close to 3%.
So some of that is a technical thing because we calculate our list in dollars, but it's a very real macroeconomic trend that is going to affect, has already affected foreign trade and is going to affect the U.S. economy and be a kind of a drag on U.S. growth. I mean, another thing that we talked about in the video, just to emphasize, like even though the Chinese economy is slowing down, which has effects on the commodities markets and businesses all around the world because it's been such a driver of growth. The fact that 19 companies on the list were from China a decade ago, and now it's 103, and it's still just an incredible growth story overall.
Do you see that changing at all? Do you see that trend slowing down or speeding up? What do you think is going to happen going forward?
Well, I don't think China's not going to keep growing at the rate that it was growing, right? And we're seeing that. The question that we don't know is how much it's going to slow down or how much turbulence there's going to be in the Chinese economy in the next couple of years. But, I mean, Europe is sort of in chaos. I mean, we have sort of an anti-globalization wave of sentiment going around the world. We saw the Brexit vote, obviously, the Trump campaign, the Bernie Sanders campaign in the U.S. are tapping into a lot of sort of anti-globalization sentiments. So it's sort of a turbulent time for big business and global business. At the same time, I think it's not going to completely reverse. We're going to still see, multinationals are trying to be more multinational than ever. So,
what do you think is going to happen with U.S. businesses next year? Do you think you're going to see more of them on the list, or not?
Well, I think they're going to have to get more competitive, right, Sean? They're going to have to take steps.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to cut costs a lot to improve their export performance, and they're going to have to reduce payrolls, unfortunately. So there's a lot of pressure on them to, especially when they're exporting into foreign markets, they have to cut their prices in local currency. So they got to bring their costs down. It's just the opposite for companies like BMW that are importing into the U.S. and make their cars in Germany, all their cars, in fact, except for the SUVs. In Germany, they get low costs in euros and then very high prices in the U.S. But for U.S. companies, it's exactly the opposite. And the only way they can compete effectively or continue competing effectively is to bring their costs down. So we're going to see big waves of cost cutting. We've seen it for years. We're going to see another wave of it.